Consider this before you visit your children in your later years. Are you prepared for the insight that may meet you in their eyes? The insight that your role, once central to their world, has profoundly shifted. The insight that your presence, which once brought comfort, might now intersect with a world that moves at a different speed. The awareness that your unhurried pace may not align with their urgent lives. This is a deep current of change, one that many parents encounter only when they are already caught in its flow. You see, a silent story often unfolds, the story of a purpose transformed, of being seen not as a wellspring of life, but as a past season. In your younger years, your life was a garden cultivated for your children. You gave your energy, your quiet hours, your own postponed journeys for them. You did this as an expression of love, and this path was your guiding star. For a long time, this gave your existence an undeniable focus. But seasons change. The seeds you planted grew into strong trees, and then they began to draw life from their own roots. They no longer required your constant tending. And a perspective that is seldom spoken is this: sometimes your presence is simply out of rhythm with theirs. Not from a lack of love, nor a flaw in their character, but because the modern world conditions us to move forward, often by streamlining what feels slow. And in their perception, your life's tempo, your deeper wisdom, does not always harmonize with their highly scheduled existence. This is where a quiet sorrow can take root. From a space of deep awareness, we find that many elders return from these visits feeling diminished, not expanded. They come home not with a feeling of connection, but with a silent ache in their heart. The sense of honor and reverence they hoped for has been replaced by something else. Contemplate this. Allow yourself to feel the weight of this change. You arrive carrying a lifetime of stories, perhaps some gentle guidance, but are often met with diverted gazes, attention on screens, and polite yet distant smiles. You speak from a place of experience, but the world around you moves with an astonishing velocity. While your mind is on the lessons of the past, their focus is on the demands of tomorrow. Emails, appointments, their own children's schedules. And so you find yourself sitting there, a still point in a rushing river, your presence felt but perhaps not truly seen. Let me ask you, why do you place your spirit in that current? I do not pose this to cause pain. It is because so many good people spend their precious later years seeking small validations from children who may not have the capacity to understand the depth of this longing. A truth from the laws of nature itself reveals this. If you do not establish the sacred ground of your own being, you will not feel respected. Respect in this age is rarely given simply for the years you have lived. It must be embodied in your stillness, not pleaded for with a heavy heart. You must hold your own space with unwavering dignity, not with quiet desperation. Too many parents approach their children's homes as if they are seeking a verdict, hoping to hear, "You are a good parent? We see all you have done." And when that affirmation does not arrive, when life is simply too full for them to offer it, an inner world can feel like it is collapsing. Listen closely. You cannot entrust your inner peace to anyone who has not learned how to treasure it. Do not enter their space with your spirit unguarded, anticipating a warmth that may not be there. Go only when you are already full. Go only when you understand that your value is inherent and does not depend on being acknowledged. This requires immense strength. It is a strength born from the very act of nurturing them for decades. Your hands, which may now hold a slight tremor, once wiped their tears and fed them. You guided their first steps, and now they hurry forward, sometimes forgetting to glance back. But that is the flow of life. It moves ever onward. Therefore, you must be equally dedicated to protecting your inner monastery. Ancient wisdom teaches us that people can fade in their later years, not from illness, but from a quiet erosion of the spirit. The emotional harvest from the investment of parenthood was not what they had envisioned. They imagined their autumn years would bring closeness, shared meals, a tapestry of connection. Instead, they were met with distraction, with a feeling of being overlooked, and at times, a sense of being accommodated. Your existence was not meant to be merely accommodated. You were not meant to be a faint echo in the vibrant lives of your children. If that is what is offered, then you must withdraw with grace. Reclaim your inner authority. Do not express bitterness, do not create friction, but also do not return to that space. Not until they recognize that your time holds its own sacred value. You have earned the right to tranquility, not to be an object of obligation. You have earned the right to be in the company of those who feel your worth without being prompted. And what is truly poignant, many older adults return, time and again, hoping for a different outcome. They overlook the forgotten birthdays, the brief visits, the divided conversations. They tell themselves, life is just busy for them, this is just a chapter. But a deeper knowing resides within them. They feel they are being gently set aside into a space that feels cooler with each encounter. You need to understand this. Feeling unseen in your later years can be more unsettling than solitude. Far more, because it chips away at the foundation of who you are. It can make you doubt your journey. It makes you wonder if your life's great offering was received. And that is a shadow no heart should have to carry. So what is the path forward? You cultivate your own life, independent of their orbit. You find fellowship, meaning, and simple rituals. You connect with souls who listen deeply, who cherish wisdom, and who are not so driven by their own becoming that they forget the mountains that provided the landscape for their journey. You gather around you those who seek your presence, not from a sense of duty, but from genuine appreciation. You cease being the parent seeking a child's recognition and become the elder who embodies a quiet power. Speak with intention and watch with awareness. When your words are offered, let them arise from a place of depth, not just volume. Allow silence to be your companion, for silence has a way of magnifying inner strength. You are not here to grasp, you are not here to cling. You are here to live your final chapters from a place of inner wholeness. And if your children find their way back to you, truly find their way, then receive them with an open heart. Welcome them with love, but not with a reliance, not with an emotional hunger that asks them to fill a void. Remember, you are the root system, not the branch. You are the deep earth, not the decorations on the rooftop. They grew tall because for decades you turned toward the light for them. They flourished because you enriched the very ground beneath them. And if this has been forgotten, let it be. Life has its own way of teaching. Time is a powerful, unyielding guide that reveals what has true substance. They too will one day enter their later seasons, and perhaps then they will remember how you stood, how you chose a dignified peace over a restless seeking. There is no loss of face in stepping away from a space where your spirit is not nourished. There is, however, a deep sadness in remaining, hoping to be seen while slowly wilting under the weight of being overlooked. You are not fragile. You are not without purpose. You are the embodiment of resilience, of wisdom, of stories too profound for a hurried world, and your light does not go out just because another is not looking. So, do not go to your children if the journey requires you to leave your self-worth behind. Go when your presence is honored, when your stories are received as gifts, when your perspective is invited, not dismissed. Go when you are seen not simply as a parent, but as a being forged in the fires of life, standing in quiet strength. And until that time, live. Discover new trails, create. Mentor a younger soul who listens with an open heart. Tend to a garden, write your own story, laugh from your belly, move with the grace of your years. Visit quiet libraries, sit beneath the trees, find new companions, celebrate your life with people who remember, drink your tea in silence and smile. Smile because you no longer require a role to feel the fullness of your own being. And if this message finds a home in you, if you recognize that feeling in your heart,